Hey guys, Adam here at DirectionTrader.com. Let's do the recap for today. It is April 20th, and it's about 5 minutes before the close. So we will be probably hearing the markets close here as we're actually making this video. But let's go ahead and start going through some of these markets. This one here is actually the S&P. We have the daily over here, and then a 1600 tick anchor chart on the left, and we're going to leave them time frames for each of the instruments that we go through. So a lot of our emphasis is going to be over here on the daily charts, but I just wanted to let you know what them charts are. Here on the S&P, we are seeing, after that big sell-off on Friday, we're still seeing an inside day. So if you take the previous day's high, previous day's low, which is Friday's high and low, we've remained inside there all day. Anytime you get an inside day, it's very typical for you to see a lot of slop and chop, and that's exactly what we've seen here today. So the bulls haven't taken charge and pushed this thing back to the upside. The bears haven't followed through from Friday's action. So basically, today's just kind of a wash, kind of a sit and wait type of a day. We took one trade in the stock indexes that happened to be in the Dow. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but made some really great money there. But as far as what we're going to do here in the S&P and the stock indexes moving forward, going into tomorrow, if we can stay here on the daily charts above the midpoint of today, let me explain. I like to watch previous days' highs, previous days' lows, and then the midpoint of that previous day whenever I'm day trading. Just three levels. They tend to be attracted to it. Say if they're coming off the previous day's low, you get a nice little move up, and then you all of a sudden see the market consolidate. There's a good chance it's sitting somewhere in the middle of that previous day's range, and the bulls or bears are kind of just fighting it out. So anything above today's midpoint, so after today closed, anything above the midpoint, I'm going to be a little bit patient and a little bit more bullish on this instrument. I'm going to go ahead and be a little bit more bullish. Any type of pop here we can get on an anchor chart and a pullback, I'll go ahead and look to the long side. In between the previous day's midpoint and the previous day's lows, I'm going to be a little bit neutral, kind of a no trade zone, and that is simply because all the moving averages are down below us. We had this this market trade all the way down here on Friday, but actually closed up much higher. So if you look at Friday's close and today's low, very close to that same level. So I kind of have a no trade zone between today's midpoint and the lows, and then looking a little bit bearish down below that point. The only issue we're going to have there is all these buyers that came in on Friday, so we're going to have to be a little bit cautious. Whenever we're going to get very aggressive is going to be below Friday's lows. So kind of threw a lot at you there, guys. You can rewind and take a look at this. But looking at some major levels there, the previous day's low, the midpoint, and that's going to help me drive my trading on this S&P going into tomorrow. So not necessarily going to be aggressive tomorrow. We're going to have to come out and see what the traders want to do here. Whether we want to start selling them off these highs and start bringing these things back down here towards these 2040s. Or 2030s, or are the bulls going to kick right back in here? Let's go to the Dow. As I said earlier, the Dow is where we took our trades at. Had a very, very good trade earlier in the Dow. Right out of the gate, we had a nice pop. We went into consolidation here. Where did we consolidate? Very important here, guys. Where did we consolidate? Well, we consolidated at the previous day's midpoint. Now, I talked about previous day's high, previous day's low, and previous day's mid. We were consolidating at the midpoint as we started the trading room, got a nice lift early on, took this lovely pullback, and ended up riding it up for another really good profit. I think we made 50 points on that one, so made a pretty decent profit here. So 50 points per contract on that particular trade. Turned out to be a very nice start to our morning. And then after that, after we had this trade here, we made some really nice profits. What the markets do? Pretty much consolidated. So I personally didn't do any additional trading this afternoon here. So going into tomorrow, much of the same. Watch that midpoint. Anything above it, I'm going to be aggressively long. I got this neutral zone and then my short. So the same thing here on the Dow. The NASDAQ, really quickly, same thing. Thing is, the NASDAQ's been leaking higher as the S&P and the Dow have kind of just been paused. The NASDAQ's been leaking higher, so it's very interesting here to see if we're going to follow through, or is this thing going to hold Friday's levels and hold this daily resistance. And then exactly the same analysis here on the Russell. The only thing about the Russell, we didn't really get that bullish behavior that we had. So we actually in the trading room were looking, if we were going to short the stock indexes today, it was going to be the Russell. And that reason is because it very, very barely broke above that midpoint from Friday's trading, and all the other ones were trading definitely in the upper half. So the Russell was actually the bearish instrument there if we were to be looking at the stock indexes to trade. So going in tomorrow, much of the same, seeing if we can get some selling, or is it want to go ahead and get some buying pressure, meaning that we're going to be up above that halfway point of today's trading and maybe get some bullish activity here moving forward. Real quickly here, I want to take a look at the crude, and then I want to look at the euro. So here on crude, we've absolutely had this resistance here, and we've broke it. We broke it last week. Now I'm trying to decide, are we going to break, consolidate, and push higher before pulling back, or are we going to break and pull back here? So that's what I'm looking for here. And as of today, we've had 2 days in a row of doji candles, meaning not much action here. The bulls aren't taking charge. The bears aren't taking charge. Not much going on here. So going into tomorrow, looking at today's midsection, anything below there, I'm going to short down towards the support down here at 54. Anything above, here's the key, anything above today's highs, I'm going with it to the long side. Okay? And so that makes there a no trade zone between the previous day's high, today's high, and the midsection. Okay? Okay, let's move on here. Let's look at the dollar. The dollar here, you see, has went into a nice little consolidation. But as we went into that consolidation, what did we do? We found some support. We got some really good buying in here. Going into tomorrow, if we can push above today's highs on the dollar, that's going to give us some confidence in the euro. So the euro's been moving really nicely. We've actually been doing some euro trading. So I'm going to watch the dollar tomorrow. If we get above today's high on the dollar, I'm going to be looking at the euro. Let's pull that up now. The euro here to the short side. So as you can see here, the euro has been pushing down and now has went through a little bit of a phase of a consolidation, pulled back, and we had a nice down day. Anything below today's low and get that dollar pushing higher, I will be looking for shorting opportunities here on the euro. Anything not breaking through today's low, probably won't be trading until we can get up above this resistance or get this selling pressure in here. This is kind of just a dangerous area for me to be trading. So tomorrow, if we can get some selling in the euro, get some rise in the dollar here, this could make for a very interesting day here and some pretty good trading opportunities if we can get the euro to start dropping and that dollar to start popping. So, alrighty, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. The trading room was a good one for a Monday. We only had 3 trades. But made some really great money. I forgot to talk about it, but we did make some money in the crude oil there. Only had 1 trade, but was able to cap off some profits there going in towards the lunchtime on crude oil. So all in all, made for an awesome day here, guys, especially for a Monday. Great start to our week. And I just fully expect us to continue with our consistency and our discipline moving forward. So if you guys have any questions at all, please go ahead and get a hold of me, Adam@directiontrader.com. If not, I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in tomorrow's recap. Have a good afternoon.